I started vlogging around like 13 years ago. I have another channel, but that was like it's an old channel. It has around like 70 plus videos in there. Like I didn't like vlog every day, but it was kind of like a routine something like ever since. Well, in Malaysia we have this, we don't call it as lockdown, we call it as movement control order, where you're not supposed to go out if you're like, if you don't have any business to go out, like important, like life or death, like food and stuff, business. um so I thought, I'm like stuck at home, right? So when I think again, it seems that the history has repeated itself. This is what had happened when I was in Moscow. So after I go back from university to our hostel, we just stayed there. All right, so you're like in confined space, and you just need like a platform to just vent out, I guess. I'm not sure. I've done this vlogging for ages, and the last time I vlogged, it was on like a physical camera, like a camera, like a, yeah. So I'm not sure. It's more of a personal choice. I love expressing myself. I've written like vlogs ever since I was like 15 years old. There are vlogs, I went, just name it. There was Zanga, there was like cjb.net kind of thing, there was Blogspot, and then there were WordPress. And like I grew in the era whereby we were introduced from no internet to having internet, to the whole vlogging and the whole of other things. Basically, I spent a lot of my childhood overseas, in the UK. So I actually stayed there for quite a while because my mom studied there. So for my primary school, I went there and stayed in Wales, in Aberystwyth, Wales. I think Lisa Surihani went there to further her degree in law. Well, I stayed there. My mom went to the university there, so we grew up there as well, and I went to the primary school there. So yeah, and then we moved to Loughborough. It's near Leicestershire, around East Midland. Yeah, so I spent my childhood, like teenage years there. So starting around like 15, 16 years old on that. So I think that's how I took up like vlogging. It started off with just like, writing to do you guys have pen pals? I have that. So yeah, like we write letters like for people from like different countries, and get the experience. I'm the kind of person who really want to know what's going on in your country and that kind of thing. So despite the fact that we didn't have internet at that time, I really feel that I should know. So yeah, and that's how I got to know vlogging in a way is just a form of a platform where I express myself. I wrote a lot about my thoughts, about my thinking process, my thought process at that time. So yeah, and even when I used to remember when we go as a family to our Euro trip, right? My mom and dad would like give us something like a notebook for us to go. This is like really good if I could do it on my own child, but we can't go out now because of the coronavirus and everything. But what we did is my mom said that, okay, fine, I'm gonna bring you guys and have fun for a holiday and stuff, but you know what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna fill up this book and write about your journey. It was more like a diary, something like that, like a scrapbook. So we would go to one place, and we would for example, we would go to a train station, right? So that train station, when you have like the underground ticket and all that. So yeah, sometimes we keep those and put it in our scrapbook. Yeah, so it's like by stages, because there's like 6 of us in the family, and the younger ones, my mom would ask them to actually just draw and not write anything. But for me, because I was like the eldest, I had to like write I have to like write the whole trip, like you know, how I felt and what I did. And you know, I remember writing about making a tent or something in Paris, where yeah, and then we went to Italy, and then I think I wrote something about it was raining really bad there, and I didn't like the people there. I remember something about that, something about, yeah. And basically that's the norm, right? Like expressing yourself in a form of like scrapbook, notebooks. So it got me, it kind of like built me to express myself in a form of, you know, vlog, a blog. So I started with a blog, and then 13 years ago I discovered YouTube, and I started vlogging. So those were the days when my favorite, I think my favorite channel was like the community channel, and then I love Rice Bunny, and then there were a few at that time, at earlier times. The those who I remembered, I think like Hanis Zalika was like one of the vloggers at those times as well. And we have Mat Lutfi, and Mat Lutfi grown to have this company where he makes a lot of videos for like even corporates and stuff. Like that guy has like totally, like from the day I knew him till now, like you know, like he doesn't know me or anything but you know, I kind of like observe his growth. That so like even the first day when I came to ML studio, um I was like, what is ML stand for? And they said like Mike Luffy. I was like, hey, it's, you know, it's that vlogger guy. So yeah, time I used to have like a pen pal from Holland, I think. So she reverted to Islam, and she wanted to, you know, to start using the hijab. And she messaged me personally. So she messaged me saying that, you know, can you teach me how to wear your hijab, how to wear the hijab. So I went on YouTube, and I was looking for a video on, you know, on people explaining how to wear the hijab, and I found none. And the only videos at that time, this was like 13 years ago, I think, the hijabs were like worn on mannequin. So I'm like, okay, like, you know, I can't really show the mannequin you know, video to my friend. So I thought, you know, okay, fine, let me do it. So I came up and just opened my camera, and I start recording how to wear the hijab like my way. I think it reached around like 300,000 views last I checked. So so yeah, that was like one of the first, I'm not sure if it's like the first hijab video like ever in YouTube, but I think it is like one of the earliest videos there. So yeah, it was then, it was like really that I wanted to share those as well, because I was thinking of doing like a video post on the life journey that I've experienced so far, so that, you know, for me personally, I feel that I wanted to look back and watch all these videos and see how I grew, because I love doing that. I love looking back at my life, by having all those, you know, vlogs and blogs. Just brought me a lot of joy, a lot of, I don't know, fulfillment, seeing that, you know, you grow from that to this right now. So yeah. Who knows, maybe in future, you know, I wanted to look back at my journey and you know, just feel good about it, right? Yeah.